always are. We just have great ministers, great speakers in this house, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be called their pastor in Jesus' name. So today, of course, we're going to have ministering to us one who has been here from the first day we started ministry. And he probably didn't want to be, but he is still here from the first day we started ministry. Bless God for all of you. Bless God for him that's about to come. My baby boy, Nicholas Gourdine. I know that God have a word for him, and I'm sure he's ready to share with you what God have given to them. Out of this resurgence, we gave some words, and we asked all of those, our ministers, and whoever wanted to take one of those words and just to minister on it. And he want to minister on one of these words today. So let's bless God for none other than Minister Nicholas Gourdine.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? I'm like my daddy, so I'm gonna take about 30 minutes to get my mic right. See how this thing. Matter of fact, I'll just use this mic. I don't need the fancy mic. Is that all right? Y'all, I'm feeling old school, even though I really don't know what old school really is, because I've been at a Pastor Dixon church for a long time. But I want to sing that song, I Say Yes, Lord. Where's Janita? Janita, to your will. I say yeah, Lord. And obey when your spirit to me. Just felt that. Oh wait. Oh, good morning, Bottom Word. It's been a while since I've been up here, man. But I kind of miss it. A couple of weeks ago, my father asked me, when you going to start preaching again? When you going to get back on the stage? And I'm like, oh, man. And I knew it was coming because Minister Diego, which he never calls me or texts me or anything unless he got a word, hit me up the day before and was like, when's the next time you speaking? And I'm like, oh, man, I don't feel like speaking. I don't want to do all this, man. This is for pastor. We leave this to Jess. But the next day I went to Favor, and my dad said, when next time you want to speak? And I'm like, oh, dog it. I said, hey, whenever. So it's on you. I feel like everybody here has a word, whether you call yourself a minister or not. Everybody has something to say, and I do have something to say. It won't be long, so y'all can go ahead and call in y'all brunch orders to Vicious Biscuit or to Halls or wherever y'all plan on going. I don't believe in long messages if it don't need to be. So this week, everybody has heard, whether you're in the rap music, in the rap game or not, we lost a very special person in the rap culture by the name of DMX. And I was thinking about one of his songs. Really don't know why I thought about one of these songs while I'm preparing for a message. But the lyrics of it, I want to share some of the lyrics to you. And the name of the song is Lord, Give Me a Sign. Now, y'all know DMX. You do? Yeah. All y'all know DMX. So y'all can go ahead and do the lyrics with me. Yeah, you don't know. You save. We know you don't know. Do you know who DMX is? You, Pastor? Wow. I think my dad just found out who Beyonce was like last year. All right, so the lyrics says, I really need to talk to you, Lord. Since the last time we talked, the walk has been hard. Now I know you haven't left me, but I feel like I'm alone. I'm a big boy now, but I'm still not grown. And I'm still going through it, pain and the hurt, soaking up trouble like rain from the dirt. Boy, y'all faking the day. I know y'all know some of these words. And I know only I can stop the rain with just the mention of my Savior's name. Devil, I rebuke you for what I go through. Been trying to make me do what I used to. But all that stops right here. As long as the Lord's in my life, I will have no fear. I will know no pain from the light to the dark. I will know no shame, spit it right from the heart. Because it's right from the start you held me down, and ain't nothing they can tell me now. Lord, give me a sign. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what's I'm going to find. It's all in time. Show me how to teach the mind. Show me how to reach the blind. Lord, give me a sign. Show me what I got to do to bring me closer to you. As I'm going to go through whatever you want me to, just let me know what to do. Lord, give me a sign. From the words, DMX. Now, here's something I'm going to ask y'all. Where's the sign? How do you get it? Because church folk think we get signs through hearing the Lord, meditating on his word. And you do. Some of us think we only hear it by prophecy. Oh. Some think you get it because you come to church faithfully, because you got a good tithe. But what if I told y'all that sometimes, not all the time, your sign and your answers come through frustration? It comes through frustration, the thing that you think God takes away, the thing that you're not supposed to go through because you're a Christian, and you cut the grass outside, and you drove past the Santa church. And after you do all that, God still allows you to be frustrated. We're going to talk about King Solomon. We ain't going to talk about me. King Solomon was known as one of the wisest men in the world. I feel like I'm the most wise man on my street, at least. But this is the most wise man, is considered the most wise man that's ever lived. So when you listen to wise people, sometimes you got to listen to what they're saying like 10 times because it just go over your head, right? But when you listen to wise people, check this out. In Ecclesiastes 7:3, no clue what translation this is, so don't even bother putting it up. Ecclesiastes 7:3 says, frustration, I'm going to read this a couple times because it ain't going to make sense. Frustration is better than laughter because a sad face is good for the heart. Now that go against everything we talk about. I'm going to read it again. From this one of the smartest or wise man that's ever walked the earth, they say. Frustration is better than laughter because a sad face is good for the heart. Anybody know what this man talking about? It's about the dumbest thing I ever read in the Bible because I was dumb thinking. But like I said, you got to take it from the wise man, right? So this is a new concept. Feelings of frustration and sorrow are better for you than feelings of happiness and pleasure. And that's the Bible. But the point he's making is frustration or sorrow pushes us towards wisdom. Stick with me. They ain't going to be long. Y'all food almost ready. And the second part says, Ecclesiastes 7:4, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of pleasure. From one of the wisest men. Does anybody really want to answer, or does anybody know, want to participate, what this man talking about? So y'all just as lost as I was when I read it? Okay, cool. So I know I'm not the only crazy one. So there's some things he's trying to teach us. He's trying to teach about being wise. So the first thing is, wise people are not always focused on having a good time. Just go to social media. Everybody living their best life, right? So, So they say, and so they make it look like. But wise people, we ain't trying to always have a good time. Y'all know to have a good time, you got to get to a good time. So, all right, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, right? Mrs. Stacy's on the spotlight. So, drop out of college. That junk was pretty whack. I don't know what I was doing there. It's not for everybody. I'm just saying that's what I did. Left, came home. I'm at the church one day, me, Jess, doing church stuff. Minister Stacy says, "Hey, Nick, you want a job?" And I'm like, "Hey, what else am I doing?" So I go to a place the next week, something like that, and I'm supposed to be hired on as a contractor for 6 weeks. And because I'm awesome, I ended up being there for 6 years. It was great experience. I worked around grown people. It showed me how grown people act like kids in high school, but they just grown. Learned a lot. When I left that job, I had $35,000 in my PayPal account. I was also like 25. To me, I'm rich. I don't need a job. I'm gonna need a job. I'm balling. I'm about to make a rap video and start my rap career because I had $35,000. But let me tell you, $35 is like $350 when you got a mortgage. It's like I had $35,000 and I woke up like, oh, and I look at my bank account, it's like $350 there. I'm like, oh God, help me, somebody. So I lost almost everything. You know, what a lot of people don't know is I had anxiety going to the mailbox. I should tell Tasha all the time. It's like, dude, I just started liking going to my mailbox again because every time I went to my mailbox, it was a bill that was overdue that I could not pay. I just couldn't pay it. And the threats of we're gonna put a lien on your home, we're gonna put this. Yo, I ain't never know this kind of life. My daddy always handled the bills. I was good. We was raised in Pineapolis. I ain't know what a lien was. I had to Google it. Like, I didn't even know how to pronounce what's a lien. So once I got a job again years later, that anxiety, that frustration took away everything in me that wanted to have a good time. But instead of having a good time, I wanted to get stuff done. So I got a job 7 minutes down the road from my house. It was a decent job. And every check I got was towards never feeling that feeling again. To never feeling that frustration of being broke. So every check I got, I was out. I used to go out. Tasha tell you, I used to go after my first check and go look at buildings. I used to call realtors, be like, hey, show me this over here, 3,000 square feet. Yeah, I'll meet you there Monday. I used to be real confident. They really thought I had it. But I was set in my mind to say, I'm never gonna feel that. As a matter of fact, what I didn't tell y'all was I worked in corporate security, and they called me the Grim Reaper. You remember that? Because they knew if Nick came to their desk, and if I don't usually talk to you, what's gonna happen to you? You're getting fired, and we're gonna have a conversation. And I did that for hundreds of people who just moved down here from Ohio, probably, of course, and moved their kids down, moved their wife down, bought a house, and here I am as a 23-year-old saying, hey, come here with me real quick. And they knew what time it was. So I'm like, I'm never gonna live like that again. So remember, to have a good time, you gotta get to a good time. You gotta save, you gotta pray, you gotta be frustrated so you never get so relaxed again in your life that you ever return to where you was going to be. Another thing King Solomon is trying to teach us, that wise people don't run away from feelings of frustration, but rather leverage it as an opportunity to reflect, evaluate, and make changes in life. Y'all gotta take in, you gotta feel your feels. Feel your frustration. I was listening to a podcast this past week, and the guy was interviewing somebody who calls herself Coach Stormy. I don't know much about Coach Stormy. I know she's on Instagram, got like hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million followers or whatever. But what I found interesting about her story was this is a woman who was raised broke, made millions, and returned broke again. Imagine, listen, not okay, I made 6 figures. I made $100,000 this year. And then, oh man, I'm broke again. No, she made millions, had millions in a bank account, started to find out what money actually was, and then lost everything. See, it's one thing to be raised broke, live broke, but that's all you know. But to make it to where people never make it, and then to lose it again, imagine the frustration. But she didn't run away from the frustration. She's on a podcast now, and she made millions back again. The two forces that drive our behavior are frustration and pleasure. But the force that has the potential to add the most value in life is frustration. Aren't we looking at frustration differently? We need to pay more attention to it. We need to pay more attention to the things that bother us. Because frustration is for wise people, and wise people think. We don't listen to the radio. We ain't always on the phone 7:30 in the morning talking to our girlfriends about stuff that don't even matter. We're thinking. We're thinking about problems. We're thinking about fixing problems. Frustrated people fix problems, and people that fix problems get paid. The bad thing about thinking is gone out of style. Watch. I'm going to show y'all how dumb we are. Somebody give me a question about anything. What do you want to know? Go. Hey, Siri, how far is the sun from the earth?
Here's what I found from caltech.edu. At its closest, the sun is 91.4 million miles, 147.1 million kilometers away from us.
Thinking is gone so out of style. It's to the place now where we practice mindfulness, and mindfulness is a multi-million-dollar industry that teaches people to be present and in the moment and think. It's an actual industry now. But I look at frustration as a spiritual gift. Just think about it. It's a spiritual gift to cause you to start thinking, to start meditating, to start fixing problems. Because how else are you going to go to another level? It's like working out. When you work out, you do everything you can to tear down your muscles, to tear down your body. Your body's in the gym confused because it's kind of like you're having a heart attack. Your heart's racing, your muscles tight, you're breathing hard. But who would know that that's what God made and what he used to make you stronger? To frustrate your body. But we're so comfortable, we won't frustrate our minds. The most frustrated person in the Bible is the one y'all come to worship every week. And you don't think he'll allow you to have it. Jesus was frustrated. The only reason he came here was for us and to do a mission. He was focused and he was frustrated many a times. Can I do old school real quick? Turn to your neighbor. Y'all got to forgive me. Pastor Dixon came to the juice bar this week, so I got old school in my spirit, I guess. I don't know. And tell your neighbor, if you're frustrated, you're in good company. Jesus was frustrated when dealing with his own disciples. They were clueless. Listen, the people, his homeboys who ran with him every day, was clueless about his mission. So when Jesus got so frustrated, he had to rebuke Peter. Y'all remember that? He told Peter to get behind me, Satan. Now, y'all think because y'all use that in jokes, it's not that big of a deal. If I went to Jason and was like, bro, shut up, man. It's not a big deal. But if Jesus calls you Satan, if I'm Stacy, man, boy, you acting like Satan. Get out of here. we go on, we have our day. It's not a big deal. But when Jesus is so frustrated, he calls you the biggest enemy. Just something to think about. You might remember the time when the disciples failed at healing a boy who was tormented by an evil spirit. Jesus got so frustrated with them. He said, "You faithless and corrupt people. How long I got to be with y'all fools? How long do I have to put up with you? Just bring the boy to me." Pretty sure that was a curse word that the Bible took out. Because Jesus sound like, to me, when I read, I'm like, I don't even want to be with y'all. Oh, y'all stupid. Goodness, what college did you go to? I'm not going to say it's college. I'm thinking one. So we often say purpose isn't for ourselves, but it's for other people, right? That's what all the deep people say. I say that, like, my purpose is not just for me. It's for other people so I can help people. But don't you know, to help other people, you got to figure out answers. And the way to figure out answers, you got to go through frustration. You better watch what you say, because I'm dealing with something right now where I'm like, Lord, I want to help people like that. Like, I want to help them a little bit, not all this. This costing me money. So I follow these guys on Instagram, right? One guy is Mr. 2 Weeks Out. Another guy is Alex Good Energy. Another guy is him 500. These guys, like Coach Stormy I told you about, these guys come from broken families, broken neighborhoods, the hood. A lot of them from Atlanta. Young black guys. Follow them every day. I pretty much watch everything they do. So these guys, what they've done is then they made millions now. But what they do is they sell their knowledge to the world. So Darius, I didn't think about you putting you an example, but you do a whole bunch of business stuff. So Darius sells books. He found a niche where he sells books and is pretty much for, fraternities, sororities, clothing, blankets, books, all that kind of stuff. Now Darius could either keep that information to himself and keep selling a ton of books, selling blankets, selling hoodies, Kamala Harris shirts, and they sell very well. Or what Darius can do is say, man, it was a frustrating ride doing this. But you know what? I bet CJ could do the same thing in his business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to package up all the information I know. And since my purpose is for other people, I'm just going to sell it to CJ. So now he doesn't have to go through what I went through. Now, CJ will still have his own frustrations and things that he deals with, but look at the blessing Darius just gave to CJ for the low price of $49.99. But like I said, these guys have been through so much. They've been through the frustration, but they're still letting their purpose and those frustrating times be able to help somebody else. How many people in here, by a show of hands, own a business? Side business, whatever business, big, small business. How many people are in school? No, keep your hand raised. How many people own a business? How many people are in school? How many people have kids? How many people have a job? So about everybody raising their hands by now, right? Y'all don't ever get frustrated at none of them places? Y'all Christians? So y'all Christians that still do it frustration, and everybody raise their hand. Okay. So I think it's safe to say that Christianity doesn't get you away from frustration. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So in my closing, I told y'all, when frustration comes, you must do certain things because we're all going to have it. We just did the poll, right? Y'all believe it? Recognize it. The second thing you want to do is thank God for it. The third thing you want to do is think about it. And the fourth thing that I wrote down is to get through it. My whole message here today is frustration is going to come. You can't tithe your way out of it. You can't serve your way out of it. Sometimes you can't do none of that stuff. The truth of it is, you've got to just accept it, change your perspective on it, look at it as the blessing it actually is, and know you're going to go through it, but God's always going to be with you, and then you go through it. Because the thing is, like I said, your frustration is not frustration. Your frustration is actually answers. Think about the top people in the world. The more money you make, the more people you influence, is because you're stronger. But you don't get strong by not lifting any weights. So you have to lift these mental weights. It's imperative. It's important that you do it. That's the only way you get to the things of God that you're believing for. It's the only way to get through the true happiness that you define as happiness. So, whenever y'all get frustrated, whenever you feel like, yo, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and Joker over there don't even do nothing, he don't even, how he get this? Understand your frustration has a deeper purpose. That's my closing.